All right, the polls open in just a couple of hours or so. The election workers out there preparing for a busy day, as you can imagine. And 10 Tampa Bay's Jenny Dean joins us live from one of those spots, the Coliseum in St. Pete. And Jenny, you have some last-minute reminders for voters before they head out the door.
Yes, I absolutely do. You know, they're expecting a pretty good voter turnout today across all of our Bay Area counties. So you want to be prepared when you head to the polls. So I reached out to the Hillsborough County Supervisor of Elections to get some last minute advice. He said they've seen a boost over the last few days of early voting. And so they expect it to be a pretty hearty turnout throughout today. Now, it is a good idea to come prepared to wait in line at your polling place, especially in the hours before 9 a.m. and after 5 p.m. and also around lunchtime. That's all around those working hours, as we know. Now, the polls do close at 7 p.m. However, if you are in line to vote, even if you're not inside the polling place, but if you are in line to vote, you will still be allowed to vote. They just cut the line off at 7 p.m.
On election day, you must vote in the polling site attached to your precinct where you live. And the reason for that is because your ballot's already printed and it's waiting for you at that location. You also want to bring one of the appropriate forms of photo and signature ID. There's 12 different ones that are acceptable.
And another reminder, if you have moved recently within the same county, you probably have a new polling place and you need to check and make sure you go to the correct one. And then you can even change your address at the polling place because you are still allowed to do that on election day. And one thing I do want to note is that we just did an entire story verifying whether or not you can take a selfie with your ballot. Florida is one of those states where you cannot take a selfie inside the polling place. Your best bet, wait till you're outside the polling place. Take that selfie with your I voted sticker once you're well away from your polling place. So you're not breaking any laws or doing anything there. All right, do you still have that mail-in ballot? I know a lot of people do. They meant to send it in, they really did. So I'm going to tell you next half hour what you need to do if you're still holding on to that to make sure that your vote counts. And I know Pinellas County, I'm here live in St. Pete, is pretty key to a lot of the major races across the state. And our 10 Tampa Bay's Aaron Parsegian is back in studio breaking all of that down for us. Aaron?
Yeah, Jenny, it doesn't matter what race it is. Pinellas County is an important area, but how about the importance in this race? The top of the ticket, Republican Governor Ron DeSantis versus Democratic challenger Charlie Crist, two guys who grew up in, you guessed it, Pinellas County. So let's take a look back 4 years ago. You might remember this. A very tight race when Ron DeSantis was first elected. He won by a little more than 30,000 votes, and that's after it went to a recount. Back to now. The state of Florida is a lot different. The state has changed. There are more Republican voters than ever before, and recent polling has DeSantis leading this race by double digits. He thinks he'll be propelled by doing well in Democratic strongholds like Miami-Dade, but the only poll that matters is the one today, Election Day, and Crist has been urging folks to get out and vote. What happens in this race will likely have a trickle-down effect on other statewide races like the Attorney General race between incumbent Ashley Moody and Democratic challenger Aramis Ayala, and the Ag Commissioner race between Naomi Blemur and Trump-endorsed Wilton Simpson. Republicans are hopeful the Florida Senate president can flip the only seat Democrats hold statewide in Florida right now. But as we were saying, no matter the race it is, Pinellas County is an important area, especially when you get from Pinellas County in this I-4 corridor. It's crucial for any candidate seeking office.
So it is the I-4 corridor that is still the purple area, and in particular, the Tampa Bay community, and in particular, Pinellas County, is really where the persuadable voters still exist.
Of course, the other big race we are watching is the Senate matchup between incumbent Republican Senator Marco Rubio and Democratic challenger Val Demings. We'll break it all down in the next half hour because, Frank Caitlin, perhaps one of the biggest storylines that will come out of the midterm today is which party will control Congress.